Hi, this is Jim with the Catholic Charities Online Training System. Today we're going to be talking about how to create labels as well as how to manage them. There are 6 ways to create labels, but first let's get started with creating a basic one. Let's go ahead and click on our inbox, and over here you'll see if I select an email, this little button right here, this is button specifically for creating labels. So I could label this particular one as Jim, and I could either create it as a new, or I already have a Jim Becker already in here within the IT department. We'll create this one new, because it's coming from a JB2 photo account. Now, the one thing I can do here with this label is I could either just let it stand on its own, or I could even put it under another category, which if I see here, I could put under Doug, or I could put under the IT department. In this case, we're just going to let it stand on its own, and then I can create it. That's the simplest way to create a label. And if you notice over here on the left hand side, these are put in alphabetically, but there's the Jim label even as we speak. When I go back and look at my inbox, you'll see that now that the Jim in a gray label, that's the default color, does come up there. But there's actually 6 ways to create labels. Gmail decided that they needed to give us many options. You pick the best one that works for you. Over here on the left hand side, when we click on more, you'll see down here you can create a new label here. You can also click on any of your subfolders or any of your folders, and you'll have a drop down arrow that comes up, and you can actually add a sublabel. That's that nested label that I just showed you a minute ago. You can also click into an email address, and you have the move to box. You can actually move to, and you can create a new label here. You can also have the label just as I showed you just a minute ago. You can also go up into the search box, and you can type in for a search category. You can search in there, and within here there's a drop down box that you can actually go create a filter, and in creating the filter you can actually create a label as well. So within creating the label here, it's going through the exact same process. It's now in this particular area we're creating a filter and applying the label simultaneously as the messages are coming into your inbox. We'll get into that in much greater detail in the next session. And the last but not least is we can go into our settings. Within the settings, you go to the settings gear, click on settings, and then from in here, this is the settings for all of our actions regarding your email account. We want to click on labels. And within here, you'll see the default system labels that Gmail gives us automatically, all the way from our inbox to star to importance, and you can show or hide these as appropriate as you prefer. You have the all mail category. This is your archive folder, so you can either show or hide that depending on your personal preferences. And then down here towards the bottom, we have the labels. So you can create a new label right here, or you can go ahead and start managing. You can show if unread. What the show with unread means is over there on the left hand side you'll see we have unread email messages, so they're bolded with a number after it. But if there's nothing that's unread, and as we've read everything in there, that could potentially disappear. So if I click on the training related items right here, and I could say show in the message list or remove or edit, within the IT department I can click show if unread. So if I come in here and I go ahead and mark these and mark them as read, you'll see that the IT department over here on the left hand side of the tree completely disappears. This is really helpful when you're just trying to track what unread messages do you have coming from different contacts. You want to make sure that you're able to get to those in a timely fashion. You can also, with labels, is we can drag and drop. So like this one here, it's a help desk. I could actually drag the Jim label over, and I could actually just drag it over and drop it down. And I might have multiple labels that are tied to this particular email. That's the great thing about labels. It's far better than just having a folder where it goes into one spot, but you can actually have different labels applied to a single email. The next thing you can do is color code it. So like within the Jim one here, if you notice it's gray. Doug is also gray. I don't want to have 2 gray ones, so we'll go ahead and we'll make Jim this yellow color. And you'll see as the color gets applied, it applies all throughout all the emails where the Jim label has been applied. And then I can also change Doug over to, let's turn him to a purple color. So as you'll see here, the Doug label gets applied as well. And it's the exact same thing for all the other labels when you want to go and mark those out. The last but not least in the managing of your labels is if we go back into the settings, is if you decide that you want to remove a label, so we no longer have a label that is in our system, we want to remove it, you could actually come in here, click on remove here in the settings area, or you can actually click into the email folder category as well, and here in the action bars you can actually remove the label as well, and it removes it completely. So what that does is that removes the label from that conversations, but if you notice, the label is still there. So the one thing that we do want to remember is when you're removing labels is if you want to remove it completely, is you have to do it out of the settings tab. Well, that's it for now. We look forward to seeing you in future sessions. Talk with you soon.